Hello everyone and welcome to another Storm Collectibles unboxing and review. And today we have the King of Fighters 1998 Ultimate Match Omega Rugal. And might I say, this is one hell of a figure and one hell of a character as well. So, people that don't know who Rugal is, he was the end boss of King of Fighters 94 and King of Fighters 98. In 94, he fights the Kusanagi clan on his. So he's a weapons merchant. He fights Kyo Kasanagi's father, who is Saisyu. I think it's Saisyu. And he doesn't even bother to finish him off. He just leaves him for dead because he thinks he's not worthy. And then Team Japan, which is led by Kyo, who is the main character in all the King of Fighters series. He comes across his father after he wins the tournament. They're on the Black Noah ship, and his father says, "You can't beat Rugal, he's too strong," or whatever. And then they have the big fight against Rugal, and they beat him easily the first time. And then Rugal takes off his jacket and says, "Okay, now I'll actually try." And then he becomes hard as hell. But Kyo does manage to defeat him, and Rugal, not wanting to lose, decides to blow up the entire ship. He just decides, screw it, I'm just going to use the detonator, and I'm going to pretend that I never actually lost. Presumably killing everyone on the entire Black Noah. But Rugal manages to keep himself alive using the power of Orochi, which he was given by the head of the Orochi clan, whose name I've forgotten. And he also saves Saisyu. And then he brainwashes Saisyu so that in the King of Fighters 98 tournament, when Team Japan wins again, Kyo goes and takes on Rugal. And first of all, he has to get through his servant, who is his own father, who he thought died 4 years before on the Black Noah. So, Rugal is a pretty mean person. Also, he has killed hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people for literally no reason. He killed all of Hildren's family and also his 50 soldier friends for no reason, seemingly. He's only lost one fight, and it was against the head of the Orochi clan, and he lost with a singular move. I can't remember what his name is, but he used one move, and it blew out Rugal's eye, which is why he only has one eye. But with the power of Orochi, that eye managed to re-heal itself. He was using a cybernetic eye for a number of years, but when he goes into Omega Rugal, the eye regrows, it reforms. So Rugal has only technically in canon been in 2 games, but he has been uncanon in quite a few more. He's been in Capcom vs SNK, where he destroys Akuma, he sweeps the floor with him, and then he steals Akuma's power, and then he starts using the Shingoku Satsu, which is Akuma's finisher. This is another thing about Rugal. He's not quite content to just beat the crap out of everyone on the planet. He also wants to steal the moves of the best fighters in the world as well. So he's got the Reppuken, which is Geese Howard's move. He's got the Krauser Wave, which is Wolfgang Krauser, who was the end boss of Fatal Fury 2. Geese was the end boss of Fatal Fury 1. And he's stolen so many other moves that I can't quite think of it. But let's get on to the actual box now that we've got the information out of the way. 4 minutes into the video. So as you can see, it is all entirely in Japanese, Omega Rugal. But this is the Genocide Cutter, which is one of Rugal's only unique moves. It comes... Well, the Genocide Cutter can be used normally. He's also got the Destruction Omega, which is a big combo that goes into that. And this here is the Krauser Phoenix, which... He originally started just using the Krauser Wave, which was Wolfgang Krauser's big finisher, and decided that wasn't good enough. So he improved upon it, and it had this big electric shield, and it also fired a big electric ball as well. In the Krauser Phoenix, he can fire, I think it's up to 10 fireballs, where Wolfgang Krauser can only fire 1, which is mental. So let us see here. I can't read Japanese, no good at it. But it says here that he was born on the 10th of February. I think that's 10th of February, I don't think it's the 2nd of the 10th. He's 197 centimetres tall, he weighs 103 kilograms, so he is a pretty big boy. He's quite muscular. He's also the head of the biggest arms dealer in the world in the King of Fighters series, so he's physically powerful. He's one of the richest men on the planet. He's got political influence, and he can actually decide who wins wars, because he's got so many weapons that if he just gives enough to the other side, then that team is going to win. That one's going to win the war. So he is horrendously powerful in terms of everything in the King of Fighters series. So this is second hand, so we're not going to open them for the first time, but let us get in to our King of Fighters, Rugal Bernstein. Also, Rugal has two children, a son and a daughter, which come into the series later on. So here we have the box, which, this is very cool. This is the destroyed Black Noah, I think. I think this is the area that you fight him in King of Fighters 98. Also, Rugal has a brother that's never really brought into the series, but the closest thing that he said he had to a family was his Black Panther that was his pet, and I can't remember what the pet's name is, but you see him in King of Fighters 94. It doesn't do anything, he just sits in the background, but that was the closest thing that Rugal had to a family. He was a panther. So let us see exactly what we have in the box. I'm not exactly sure when this figure came out, but he is quite rare, quite difficult to get hold of. So he's definitely not a recent one. And oh my goodness, you can immediately see just the colour of him is absolutely fantastic. They've really went to work on the detail here. So this here is the Genocide Cutter, which you can see it's got a little peg here, which will clip into the foot, which will allow him to do his big sweeping leg attack for the Genocide Cutter. Let's take out Rugal himself, which he's got these parts here. I thought Omega Rugal was supposed to have the cybernetic arm. I thought after the Black Noah got destroyed he lost his arm in the explosion, but maybe not. So this is a very cool figure. They've really went to work with all the details of making him very, very muscular, and obviously he's got his white hair instead of the blonde hair because he is being used by the power of Roche. Also, the Omega Rugal he's not meant to be wearing the top, he's meant to be topless, and he's meant to have the Omega symbol tattoo on his back. It's not an actual tattoo, it's like a symbol that appears when you're using the Roche power. So, yes, that's interesting. Let us look at the hands and accessories first. So his additional hands, he comes with the open hand grips, like so. And we also have the gripped palms, which is kind of cool. This is probably the ones I'm probably going to stick on him, because he does use the gripping moves, you know, the Krauser wave, the Reppuken, so on and so forth. I think he has a Raging Storm as well. I can't confirm that, but I think he might have had Raging Storm. I know Rock Howard had the Raging Storm as well. And this is interesting. The additional heads come in their own little plastic bags, so that's quite cool. And there you have the kind of manic grin of Rugal. If the camera would focus, we could maybe actually see what he looks like. There we go. So as you can see, I think that's the I was about to say I think that's the robotic eye, but I think when he uses the Orochi power and his hair turns white, it actually regrows the eye that he lost. So, there's a bit of paint decal on the teeth there. That's a little bit strange. But as you can see, this is a really... I mean, one thing Storm Collectibles are amazing at is facial sculptures, unquestionably. And let us look at the difference with this one. I think this is the more aggressive face. Like as if he's... Yeah, you can see that that's him looking like he's struggling. You can see the kind of definition in the face. As if... I think we might go with the happy evil grin of Rugal, because that's the way that I most remember him. And we have a secondary wave of plastic underneath. So let us see what this entails. Well, let's see what we have here. This is interesting. I expected this to be a full circle, so I'm not sure what we're going to get here. Looks like this is half of the circle. Yes. I mean, there's certainly areas here that look like they clip into other parts, but this is the only part I have. I'm wondering if there's something missing here, or if this is something that comes from maybe another figure that I'm not aware of. That's curious. And here we have the flames that surround him, which that should just clip in together like so. It should. Doesn't necessarily mean that it will. There we are, just a little bit of strength. Clips in, and now you have a very, very cool effect for your character. Well, we'll leave this aside for the time being. Let's just check the back of the box once again. See, this is what it's supposed to look like, and we've got maybe a third of that. See? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Tell me if there is something else that I need to collect. Maybe the other parts of that come with Q or Erie or something like that. I'm unsure. That would make sense. You know, give you a kind of sort of Build-A-Figure kind of thing. So let us look at the figure Rugal himself and see exactly what we have here. So the arms, well, this one's a bit stiff. Oh, there we go, okay. Just a little bit stuck there. So you can go into the full T-pose. This is soft rubber as well, as is the chest piece. So the butterfly, yes, so the butterfly is interesting because this entire area here, and you can see that when we bring it in, that you can see that this entire segment here all moves, and it can also rotate backwards as well, like as if he's preparing the Krauser wave. And then the torso has forward and backwards movement. So you would have it something like that for preparing to do the Krauser wave, or the Phoenix, the Krauser Phoenix even, that's his version. We have the bicep swivel, which has a nice amount of rotation. The muscles do get in the way to an extent. The double elbow rotation, which is quite good. As you can see, there's quite a lot of muscle involved in the bicep area, so we can't move it that far. That's about as close as you can get it in, as close of a crunch you can get. And the same on the other side. It's actually the elbow itself that's causing, rather than the actual muscle part here. And yeah, that is as far as that will move. Yep. That's interesting. Makes me think this is one of the older figures rather than one of the newer ones, although he does have the height of the newer figures, but then Rugal is supposed to be pretty massive. This is on the ball joint, so you should get the full head swivel, the full rotation there. The legs, let's just see. Yes, he can do the full high kick, which he really needs to if he's going to be able to use the genocide cutter. The knee has the double rotation. Doesn't bend that well. This looks like it could use a bit of cleaning. Bit of a mark there. But then again, this is second hand, as I mentioned. Foot crunch. And the foot doesn't move at all. That's interesting. It's unusual for Strong Collectibles. Foot pivot once again. Oh, well, the foot actually does move, but just barely. If you see there, it's these parts here of the trousers that are preventing the movement, because this is solid, but the foot does have some very, very small movement abilities. Let's take a look and see what the Genocide Cutter piece looks like. So let us get him into the position. This leg would come up like so, and maybe he'd be looking at the opponent, and this should just clip into the foot as so. And there you have this beautiful arc wave of the Genocide Cutter as to what it looks like. Except obviously he would do this quite high up. The Genocide Cutter is like a almost shoryuken, but like done with the foot. And yeah, that looks pretty cool there. I'm quite pleased with that. You don't have much turnability on the ankle or the foot, so it is a little bit of a weird angle. Can you stand like that? That would be very cool if you could. Right, where are you falling? If we move this arm in a bit here. Oh, almost. Welcome to the balancing act part of the video. There we go. That's kind of cool. Can we do that here in the fire? I mean, if you balance there, you should be able to balance here. There you go. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool indeed. So let us show all the good people at home. We'll take away the Genocide Cutter. Or I think it's called Destruction Cutter in English, but he doesn't actually say Destruction Cutter. He just either just doesn't say anything, or he still says Genocide Cutter in Japanese, or Genocide Cutter is the way that he says it. So in order to use the additional heads, you simply just grab the head, very gently pull, comes off with a little pop, and that allows you to put on the other head that you like. Now remember, this is soft plastic here, so just be careful. Sometimes the chest will get caught up on the rest of the body. And there you have, that's very, very cool. And we'll swap out the hands. Again, to swap out the hands, just give it a little pull. It just comes off like that. And the other hand should just clip right in. I say should. We were having a problem with the Akuma figure. And this one, well, this one looks like it might be the same kind of situation going on here. We'll try this, but no guarantees. Right, so I'll show you what the problem is here. So this is what the fist looks like. As you can see, it's got its own little hole there that this goes into. And as you can see on this hand, the hole is far, far smaller. Let us check it with the other hand, which also shares the same problem. Now, I don't know why on earth they did this, because we are having the exact same issues with Akuma that was designed in the exact same way. And you can see that there's a distinct difference in the hole size. That it's almost like this was designed to go with something else. And although this is soft rubber, and we can show you it's soft rubber, the fingers, they do bend inwards. This isn't hard plastic, this is soft rubber. It still isn't easy to get this to clip into here, which is a damn shame. And if we give it a little bit of push here, you can see that you can kind of get it in a bit, but it doesn't pop in the way that it's supposed to. Yeah, even using quite a bit of strength. I don't want to use too much strength. I don't want to go damaging the actual little part in the wrist area there. But, no. I think we might need to open that up a little bit with maybe some... See, because this is supposed to just clip on there like that, with no real problems whatsoever. No real issues. But that's a little bit annoying, if I do say so myself. For the very, very cool boss of the King of Fighters. He's definitely the most memorable boss, is Rugal. I mean, there's been other bosses that came and went. Orochi's pretty cool, he's up there. But Rugal is, you know, the original. So he'll always have a very special part in my memory of fighting games. And he's also in Refusal Stand. The reason he's in Refusal Stand is these feet, they don't rotate well enough to give you that stability, which is very unfortunate. And the camera keeps moving because we're trying to move Rugal, and if it maybe straighten you up a little bit, does that help? No, it in fact actually makes it worse somehow. Well, just be aware of that if you do get your own Rugal, that that's what you have to look forward to. And if anyone does have any ideas of what to do with this whole problem in the, that's watching the video, please do let me know in the comments below what we're supposed to do, if I'm doing something wrong, or if that is a design flaw, because it feels like a design flaw, which seems rare on the part of Strong Collectibles. Why do you stand perfectly fine when you're standing to the right, but refuse to stand when you're facing the camera? What's going on there? Is this table a bit... Okay, better idea. How about we put you into the pose that you love doing? There is the Rugal taunt pose. So let's remove these accessories, and we'll close the video up with a size comparison video. Give this to the side. Just take a look at Rugal in his flames. That is very cool. I do like this flame effect. That is very, very nice. But unfortunate that they couldn't get the Krauser Phoenix part working, the electricity. But again, if I'm missing something, please do let me know in the comments below. I'll look into it myself, put a bit of research in, and see what I can't find. So let us do the size comparison. So we shall bring it in, also from Strong Collectibles, Mr. Hulk Hogan, and you can see Hulk Hogan nowhere near as tall as big old Rugal Bernstein. Let's just bring the camera down a little bit so that you can see the full scale of these characters. We'll also bring in, from the Mortal Kombat Ninjas line, Scorpion, who also is quite a bit shorter than Rugal. We'll bring it in from McFarlane side of things, Princess Katana, who again comes up to just over Rugal's shoulder. So Rugal is going to be quite a bit taller than some of your other characters. I'm trying to get the feet there so that you can see the full height of the characters. Not working so well. We'll bring in the cybernetic ninjas, which are a little bit taller, but as you can see, still nothing in comparison to the size of Rugal, but they aren't really supposed to. We'll bring in, from Marvel Legends, Shang-Chi, so you can see how tall Marvel Legends are in comparison to Rugal. Quite a bit of a difference there. And we'll remove Scorpion, Mr. Hanzo Hisashi, and we'll bring in Kazuya from the Tekken line of... Oh, Kazuya's actually a pretty good height. Kazuya is quite tall, but you can see there, I mean Rugal is still taller than him, but it's a good height matchup. If we bring in the scissors of size, you can see that, well, Kazuya's top of his hair comes to about halfway through, but if you ignore the top part of the hair, then Rugal is about a head taller than Kazuya. we'll remove this one, and lastly we'll bring in, which is canon to Rugal, the Shin Akuma, who is in refusal to stand. There we go, just lean him forward a tiny little bit, and you can see Shin Akuma and Rugal, pretty good height comparison here. We're bringing the scissors of size once again. You can see that Rugal at its full height is just taller than Akuma's ponytail. Without the ponytail, Akuma comes to just about almost the size of Rugal without his head. And let's bring in some Mortal Kombat boss characters, which are always huge. So we shall start off with the Emperor of Outworld. He is not king, he is Khan. He is Shao Kahn. He is also refusing to stand. What's going on here? This table moved. Is there an earthquake in the middle of the night? That wasn't aware of. That's weird. Don't normally get earthquakes here in Scotland. And Rugal is pretty much the same height as Shao Kahn. Is Shao Kahn maybe just a bit taller? Yes. Only a tiny fraction taller. And we'll bring in the Prince of the Shokan, Goro. And Goro is absolutely massive. Once again, all of the figures refusing to stand today. What's going on here? Is this some kind of prank? Is there some kind of like gravitational shift that I'm not aware of? Did north and south change without me knowing? Okay, Goro, right, can you maybe lean a little bit? There, okay, sorted. So as you can see, Goro quite a bit taller than Rugal, but not towering over him as much as some of the other characters. And lastly, we'll bring in Motaro. So you see the height comparison size of Motaro against Rugal. And Motaro is pretty massive, as per usual. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This has been the review of Rugal Bernstein, which is my first character of the King of Fighters series, and maybe even the only King of Fighters characters that I'm planning on getting. I do like King of Fighters, but I was never a big fan of Eerie or Kyo. If I could ever find a Terry Bogard, I would like to get him, because I like the Fatal Fury series, but I was never... You know what, maybe if we just do a slightly different pose for Rugal. Maybe have him something like that. Maybe put him into a sort of mid-walk kind of look. If you balance this, foot in the back, maybe. Rugal's really in refusal to get a good balance on. There, that's maybe a little bit better. There. That's a nice kind of look for him. But yes, I just realised the camera is a little bit squint. That's what happens when you use one of these stands. But that is going to be it for today's video. Once again, please give it a like, share and subscribe if you did enjoy the video. It does mean a lot. Remember, we do have a Discord channel, so be sure to check that out. You can talk with me and all of the other Grand Cat members, the Grand Cat family. And we will see you all in the next video. Goodbye, everybody.